couple days ago I came out and looked at my SL, and it was all the way down. Like basically the wheel was almost on top of the car was almost on top of the wheel. Started up, figured the accumulators, whatever, just leaked down. Came over, started up, hit the raise, did not move at all. Usually it comes right up. Popped the hood, I look down here, and I see fluid spraying out of somewhere down here. Thinking, oh, it's probably the hose. Went online, found out that it likes cracking where it's welded onto this canister's welded onto the banjo fitting. I was like, oh well, but at least I had another one, because evidently you can only buy it as one piece with the hose, which is like $300 or $400. Evidently, when the bracket that goes from here, or the engine block over by the motor mount, breaks over by the bend on it here, where it goes into, near where it goes into that bolt right there. That's the one that's hard to access. It breaks, and then this canister is only supported by the fitting, and that's the weakest part, where it's brazed or welded on, where they're brazed or welded together. What I did was actually, I had all the video of this, but my phone reset itself and wiped out everything on it. All the videos, software, everything. Where the bar comes over, the bracket comes over, I welded on a gusset from like right here over to that to strengthen that. I added a gusset right here. This goes to the motor. This bolt underneath here goes to the back of the pump. This is a ground wire, and this is a hose bracket. I did need to bend that slightly up. It was bent down and it was harder to get at this bolt right here. This is the one you can't see, and you gotta reach and feel, and it's a E12 or E14 external torques. It's the same as this one right here. And what I did was put the reservoir can back up through here and slipped it forward, put the bolt for the hose in to hold it up, and then reach through the front to get to that nut right there. It's right there. Had to reach through here with a finger on each hand. It's actually facing this way. Facing this way, and was able to push this hose out of the way and reach up through there and get it on. I also cut a cheap wrench in half to get more access in here, and I literally had to move it 1/16 at a time. I was able to get, or 1/6, one flat, 1/6 turn at a time. I was able to get it going. Just make sure you don't strip that. So you don't strip that one out right there, or any for that matter. I'll put the bracket back in here. The hose is snug, and the nut over here is snug. I'm getting the bracket in there snug, and then I'll tighten all of them up so none of them are really stressing one or the other. I think that's probably a problem with this braking, because it'd break right at the bend right here. And then the banjo fitting on the front of the canister reservoir would crack, and that's what it was all started, because this broke right here. That's why I put that gusset on. My problem ended up not being it leaking right there. If you look at these, they get flattened out pretty good. I was lucky in that that one was just chewed up. It was literally spraying right out of there like a pressure washer. It's like 2,500 psi. Couple tips when you do this. It's 19 millimeter here, 19 millimeter on the hose that goes in the back. Then these are E12 or E14 here, and like E10 here, E10 or 12 here. And the bracket on by the motor mounts the same as here, E12 or 14. You can get that out of the way right away. Take this bracket out. Actually, I'd leave it in. I'd crack loose this. You can get. I could get this with the flex ratchet. This is a bitch to get it. I literally took a 19 millimeter cheap Harbor Freight wrench, cut it in half so I'd have access, and I could use the box end or the open end to get at that. Don't want to strip this one out. This is the one that was on it. That was on my old one. I replaced it. This was in nice condition. Also, this is the one that has this banjo bolt has a screen in back of it. Make sure you clean that. Don't stick anything through it. I had a video of me just using a toothbrush that pushed through the screen, and I replaced it. There's a video of me replacing that someplace around my channel. Break these two loose. Get that bracket out of the way. This, I literally had to move it 1/16 at a time, or 1/6 turn at a time. It's a bitch, takes a while to deal with it. Took this out, I'd slide this back and I'll just pull it out. There's plenty of room to get your hand up in here. Put the new one in. I put the hose on first, just to hold it there, get it close. Then I was able to get this with a finger on each hand, get up there and get it to where it started. Don't strip that out there. Don't strip out that one either right there on the back. Got that started, got it going in, got this going in. When they start getting close to tight, I put the bracket on, got them bolts tight. I would put this bolt on first. The bracket fights it too much. I'd put this bolt on, then the one on the motor. Then the two here's for the bracket, and the second one's supposed to be for a ground. My ground wasn't on that one. Mine was on a bracket, on the front of here someplace. I think it might have been on this bolt. But that's how I stopped the leak. I put in Fabi, I call it just 6161. It's the same as CHF 11S Pentacin. Also, I didn't have enough, so I used this Lube Guard synthetic. Called them up. They said it's fully compatible with the CHF, and it even says right here, high performance hydraulic fluids such as Pentacin, CFS hydraulic fluids in power steering shocks, level controls, traction controls. Called them up and they said it's a fine replacement for that. It's fully compatible with CHF 11S. Also, they had it in stock for $16, $16.99 at O'Reilly's. You might try AutoZone or Advance locally. Oh, I think Napa had it for about, even Napa might have been a little cheaper too. Then started up. I put in a half a quart of the 6161. That was still way down there. I put in the full quart of the lube guard, and that was too much. I had to actually, I took this hose off right here, put it down into the bottle, ran it for 15 seconds or whatever until this went down far enough to correctly get on the dipstick. This I didn't have to touch at all, like I said. Power steering, I didn't have to touch at all. That cured the problem. Been driving around. I think it actually works a little better using that lube guard in there. A little quieter.